that they should, when one unjustly took away the coat, offer the other garment, he referred not so much to a literal second coat as to the idea of doing something positive to save the wrongdoer in the place of the olden advice to retaliate, an eye for an eye, and so on. Jesus abhorred the idea either of retaliation or of becoming just a passive sufferer or victim of injustice. On this occasion he taught them the three ways of contending with and resisting evil. 1. To return evil for evil, the positive but unrighteous method. 2. To suffer evil without complaint and without resistance, the purely negative method. 3. To return good for evil, to assert the will so as to become master of the situation, to overcome evil with good, the positive and righteous method. One of the apostles once asked, "Master, what should I do if a stranger forced me to carry his pack for a mile?" Jesus answered, "Do not sit down and sigh for relief while you berate the stranger under your breath. Righteousness comes not from such passive attitudes. If you can think of nothing more effective positively to do, you can at least carry the pack a second mile. That will of a certainty challenge the unrighteous and ungodly stranger." The Jews had heard of a God who would forgive repentant sinners and try to forget their misdeeds. But not until Jesus came did men hear about a God who went in search of lost sheep, who took the initiative in looking for sinners, and who rejoiced when he found them willing to return to the Father's house. This positive note in religion Jesus extended even to his prayers, and he converted the negative golden rule into a positive admonition of human fairness. In all his teaching, Jesus unfailingly avoided distracting details. He shunned flowery language and avoided the mere poetic imagery of a play upon words. He habitually put large meanings into small expressions. For purposes of illustration, Jesus reversed the current meanings of many terms, such as salt, leaven, fishing, and little children. He most effectively employed the antithesis, comparing the minute to the infinite, and so on. His pictures were striking, such as the blind leading the blind. But the greatest strength to be found in his illustrative teaching was in its naturalness. Jesus brought the philosophy of religion from heaven down to earth. He portrayed the elemental needs of the soul with a new insight and a new bestowal of affection. 6. The return to Magadan. The mission of 4 weeks in the Decapolis was moderately successful. Hundreds of souls were received into the kingdom, and the apostles and evangelists had a valuable experience in carrying on their work without the inspiration of the immediate personal presence of Jesus. On Friday, September 16, the entire corps of workers assembled by prearrangement at Magadan Park. On the Sabbath day, a council of more than 100 believers was held, at which the future plans for extending the work of the kingdom were fully considered. The messengers of David were present and made reports concerning the welfare of the believers throughout Judea, Samaria, Galilee, and adjoining districts. Few of Jesus' followers at this time fully appreciated the great value of the services of the messenger corps. Not only did the messengers keep the believers throughout Palestine in touch with each other and with Jesus and the apostles, but during these dark days they also served as collectors of funds, not only for the sustenance of Jesus and his associates, but also for the support of the families of the 12 apostles and the 12 evangelists. About this time, Abner moved his base of operations from Hebron to Bethlehem, and this latter place was also the headquarters in Judea for David's messengers. David maintained an overnight relay messenger service between Jerusalem and Bethsaida. These runners left Jerusalem each evening, relaying at Sychar and Scythopolis, arriving in Bethsaida by breakfast time the next morning. Jesus and his associates now prepared to take a week's rest before they made ready to start upon the last epoch of their labors in behalf of the kingdom. This was their last rest, for the Perean mission developed into a campaign of preaching and teaching, which extended right on down to the time of their arrival at Jerusalem and of the enactment of the closing episodes of Jesus' earth career.